It's officially summer, and you know what that means for teachers. Party time. Just kidding. It actually means that it's the perfect time for us to learn more ourselves. So I'm here at a 2-week ORF training, and I am a singer. I sing all the time. That's what I do. I start all of my lessons with singing, and most of my teaching has to do with singing, and the instruments are kind of an afterthought. So here I am at ORF training to try and make instruments more natural. So I'm really hoping to get out of this just to make using instruments in my class an organic thing, that the kids don't notice that I'm really trying to make sure they use instruments, because they really want to always use those instruments. And though it can't be all the time, I really want to be able to incorporate them a lot easier. So hopefully everything goes well, and I will catch up with you later to let you know how everything is going. All right, it is lunchtime and I thought I'd check in. I'm really excited so far. Everybody's very positive, and there's lots of singing and lots of movement, kind of like dancing so far, but I think there's going to be even more later. I start the day off with recorder, and so I had to get a new recorder because they want a specific kind that goes with the class. So I picked one of those up and got a couple books that they want you to have, and I can't wait to practice that later. I've done a little bit of playing on ORF instruments, but very, very little so far. And right now, all I can think of is eating. Well, that's a wrap on day one. When I left you, I went to lunch, and I had a really good lunch, and after that, went back to basic. So the day starts with recorder, and then we do what's called basic, I guess, and it's basically playing the instruments and learning songs and ways to teach them. So that was a lot of fun. It was very up and down, up and down, up and down. So like you're sitting, and then she says, okay, come over here. All right, go back and sit down. Okay, come over here. So pretty much what I do to my kids in the classroom. So I guess it's about time that I had a taste of my own medicine. So that's a lot of fun, but it does get tiring because we have 2 of those classes, but at least there's break for lunch in between. And then from there, we race over to a movement class, which is a lot of fun. I love movement. I used to, dance ballet when I was really little, but not like not that fantastic. It was just something that I enjoyed doing, and then had to stop because we moved. And anyways, I love show choir and movement for that, so that's a lot of fun. And I always have my choir move, and I give movement to songs. So I'm actually really excited about ending the day with movement, because especially after like this long thing of singing a song, doing the game, doing an instrument, and sit down, get up, sit down. Then just to be standing and, basically doing movement and sort of dance, a little bit of folk dancing and stuff like that. It is a fun way to end the day. Now, I do have homework. So just what every teacher loves, homework. It's one thing to give it to your students, but then it's time for you to do it, and you're just like, do I have to? But yes. So it's not too bad. Definitely feels like a little bit less than when I did the Kodai training. So like I said, I do have some very specific goals that, I'm focusing on for myself in doing the specific ORF training. Is I just would really like to incorporate the use of instruments in my classroom easier. I just want it to feel natural and organic. I don't want to feel like I am forcing a specific activity. I want it to feel like the students have a part in making the music, and that I'm not just telling them what to do. And I just want it to be simple you know, the instruments come out and then they go back in, you know, and not a big ordeal. So I'm really excited to see how I can incorporate what I'm learning now into what I already use in the classroom to make it geared towards what my students need and what I want to bring to them. So hopefully the rest of the week is going to be energetic and exciting, and I can tell that I am going to get tired and I'm going to have a hard time for some of it, but you know, if it was easy, then would it be worth the time? I don't think so, but I am glad that I'm doing this right after school has ended, so I don't have to take a break and then try to get back into the groove of things before, you know, it happened, like before training happens, and you know, have to wake up early. And so it's a lot closer than, you know, than I thought. The parking is really great, so can't complain there. So I guess we will wake up early tomorrow and try to get here with more time to feel ready and maybe do a little bit of practicing in the morning. Day 2 of the ORF training that I'm doing. Last night I was up till about 11, it's past 11, doing homework, right? So I had to, you know, write a bunch of stuff down, some reflections, and I had to, you know, write music, which I should do more often just because, but I don't do it enough. So it was a little difficult at first to get back in the groove, because I don't, like I say, I don't do it as much as I should. So that's definitely something I want to do more of, is just write down music and listen to music and write it down or make up my own. So we got to pick a poem and then, you know, figure out the rhythm that goes with it and write that out. And we had to do that with 2 different poems. And then at the very end, I had just enough time to very quietly practice recorder. I wish I would have gotten here earlier today so that I could find a practice room and do a little bit of practice before class, because that's the first thing that we do today. But I did not leave as early as I wanted to. So I wanted to leave at about 7:45, but it was probably 8 o'clock when I finally got out. So I've got to run in and find the room. Hopefully my body remembers where to go, because my brain doesn't, and get ready to play some recorder. Luckily, I don't think we have to play by ourselves today. So I'll have another day of practice to get back in the groove, and off we go. Started off really well. I was like a minute late, so the door was locked and I had to walk in awkwardly, but luckily my chair was right next to the door. They have them all named and everything, so you know where to sit. So it was a lot of fun playing recorder and doing some activities. We had to get into groups for consorts, so I volunteered myself to play the tenor recorder since I just happened to have one lying around. So I don't really play the tenor recorder, and I hardly play the soprano recorder, so we'll see how that goes. I'm really wanting to stretch myself, like I say, get out of my box, get out of my comfort zone. So that's kind of why I went with that. That bird is very loud. He has something to say. Well, anyways, basic was really nice. Just, you know, again, the up and down and up and down. So I am definitely hungry. It is lunchtime. I want to eat. And then after that, we go back to basic for some more fun, and, you know, we get to compose our own ostinatos and stuff like that. So I'm especially excited to explore that and use that kind of thinking more in my classroom. And then after that, of course, is movement. And I'm so excited because today I decided to bring my jazz shoes. These are the same jazz shoes I've used since my very first musical. It was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I've had these since junior year of high school, so I've taken really good care of them, and they're going to serve me well yet again. So, all right, I'm gonna go have my lunch, and then afterwards, hopefully I won't have broken anything or gotten any bruises like I almost did yesterday. And I haven't even looked at what the homework is gonna be, so not my priority right now. Priority now is food. On day 2, my goodness, it feels like it's been a whole lot longer. After lunch, I went back to basic and did a lot. And it flew by though. We got there and I think we did a couple of activities, and then we started talking about the homework. So day 2 of ORF is actually not over because I still have to do the homework. But that's okay because sorry about that. Unfortunately, I can't really do the homework until the baby is asleep because he is just a little too excited. So I have to play with him as soon as I'm done talking to you and give him a bath. And then after he falls asleep, I'll be able to... Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I'll be able to work on homework. Hey. Come here. That includes practicing recorder very, very quietly so that he does not wake up again. So until then, though, I've got to do my other job, which is be a mom. So I do have to practice recorder and do all of my homework. I have 2 main things. I don't think we have anything for movement. Movement kicked my butt today. We did a few different kinds of folk dances, and they were a lot of fun, but after doing like 3 or 4 different major movement things, by the time you get to the end, you're just like, what time is it? And that's pretty much how a lot of us felt. Yes, thank you. And that's just the way it goes at a music training, and probably other teacher training as well. So I am going to get back to playing with my adorable son, and after he's asleep, it's off to homework land for me before it's off to sleep land, hopefully much sooner than last night. That is a goal that will probably not be accomplished, and I have to be okay with that. I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with that. Oh well. I'm going to be okay with it. feel like you leave earlier and earlier and earlier and always arrive later? Well, that's me today. It's Wednesday. I have 4 minutes to get to recorder class. I am in a hurry. So I'll just have to explain all the thoughts running through my head later. Okay, finally lunchtime, and I decided to take a short walk into kind of a wooded area, I guess. I mean, there's just some trees here. It's actually a beautiful day outside, so if you're lucky enough to be outside right now, then good for you. It has been kind of hectic, but you know, that's to be expected on a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. I'm tired. No matter how early I leave, I still get here late. So I really do need to work on getting here even earlier, especially since on Friday I have a recorder lesson at 8 a.m. So leaving at 7:30 even will be not soon enough, I don't think. So I've really enjoyed some of the activities and music making today. Just being able to experience the things that I can do with my students in the classroom. It really gives me so many great ideas that I hope I can make happen for my students. So I have to eat lunch. There's no way I can function without it. So more on this later, and probably more homework is to be expected today. So off to lunch. I would just like to point out how beautiful the grass is on this campus. It's just so pretty. Oh, love it. I can with confidence say that I'm only slightly overwhelmed. It's the end of the day on Wednesday. It feels like I've been here for a year. I have gotten to work with some really great teachers and musicians, and I mean, just coming up with ideas and sharing ideas, you know, just putting words with rhythms and thinking about how can I use this with my children, how can I put it in my classroom and make it relate to what I'm already doing or make what I'm already doing better. All these things run through your head and you get so excited and yet so overwhelmed all at the same time. So I have more homework. I say it every time, but it's true. I'm just like a student in college. I feel like I've got to go home and do my homework right away, because if I don't, I feel like I'm gonna forget something and then just be completely lost. So I have to battle through the traffic. There is no good way to get home from here. So I need to battle through the traffic, get home, and get to work maybe after I make a cup of tea, because I think I might need that to survive this evening of homework. And practicing. I need to practice the recorder. We just got our piece, our consort, or trio, really. It's just, you know, 3 of us, 2 sopranos and a tenor recorder, and I have volunteered to play the tenor recorder. The good thing about it is that the fingers are the same as the soprano recorder. The bad thing about it is that it's so much bigger that your fingers are very far apart, so it's going to take a lot of stretching, and I'm not used to playing it yet, but I'm glad that I put myself out there to try it. So I'm staying calm. It's almost Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday. That means I have to do all the reading that I've put off. But she keeps saying that it's easy reading. Okay, so I will easily read it and think about, you know, things that I could talk about at the discussion that's apparently going to take place. And it's going to be great. I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to be fine, and this is great. This is good. On my way home, and not looking forward to the drive. I finally made it to Thursday, which means there's still one more day left this week before the weekend. But I am tired. I can't lie. Today I decided to skip the makeup routine in hopes that I would get here earlier. That still didn't happen. So it's not the makeup that's making me late. So I need to reevaluate my morning routine and see if I can get here earlier. Last night, homework went pretty good. I had to take a new poem and I had to add ostinatos to it, 2 ostinatos, and there are rules that we have to follow that I've been told I don't necessarily need to completely follow in the real world because there's no ORF police. But here, you have to follow them. You have to do what you're told. So I think I did it. I think I did it right. I have been really happy with a lot of my evaluations on my homework so far. I'm surprised in myself, actually. So I'm going to run up to recorder, which I wish I would have had more time to practice last night, but the baby kept waking up. And so I had to stop practicing and move on to silent things. So I'll have to just fly by the seat of my pants this morning in recorder. So wish me luck on that one. So thankful that it is time for the lunch break. I have my lunch all packed in this giant thing, but it's worked out for me so far. It's been actually a pretty good morning. I wasn't too late getting to recorders. I thought I would be. Played okay. Didn't do too bad for not feeling like I practiced enough. I am not really worried too much about we're having a private one-on-one lesson, and I mean, I guess I should be a little worried, but I mean, I feel pretty confident as a musician that I'll get by, but I definitely want to be prepared, you know. I want to practice enough to where when I do make a mistake, because I know I will. Okay, I'm a singer first, an instrumentalist second, or third, or fourth, or whatever you want to say. And I just want to make sure that it does not make me freak out. So that's, you know, one reason why I'd like to practice a lot for that. But I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say from, you know, me to, you know, be better for my students. So, and then in basic, I really enjoy I say that a lot, but the activities are so much fun. Everything is a game. Everything is a song that turns into a game that turns into playing an instrument. And I mean, who doesn't love that? So my main thing is thinking about how can I set up my room to be conducive to that, so that it's not like this random, and now we're going to go play some instruments. You know, it's just like an automatic, here they are. So I'm hoping I can brainstorm some ideas and really get it, you know, seamless, like I've been trying to do. And yeah, so I'm going to eat some lunch and move on with my life. Well, it's the end of Thursday, and I think I finished all of my homework. I'm kind of at a point where I'm slightly concerned with how well I've been doing. I know that sounds really odd, but I'm actually not used to you know, doing this so easily. I get really stressed out and I just want everything to be perfect, but every assignment I turn in has good marks on it, so I must be doing something right. I could always use tons more of recorder practice, but every time I practice, the baby wakes up though. I'm just gonna have to trust that I can wake up early in the morning to prepare myself mentally and emotionally to play an instrument that is not my best friend. After a lot of discussions here and there with some of the other teachers that are doing the program with me, I feel very lucky that I have such great kids at my school. They really are just, they're just really great kids. And every school has, you know, really awesome kids, and then the ones that just, they really try you, you know. I don't know. I'm just, with hearing the other stories that the other teachers have, I just feel like I'm very lucky. It's only Thursday in the first week. I still have tomorrow that I have to survive, and then it's the weekend. I have no idea if we're going to have homework over the weekend. I really hope there's not, but I bet there is, because when you're doing training and it's only 2 weeks, they're trying to fit as much as possible in there. Today in movement, it was really weird. I mean, and I felt very, whoa, imagine, use your arms, use your legs, use your head, follow your nose, blink. No, not the blink thing, but just, you know, and draw with your elbow. And just very weird, but I honestly just kind of fell into place and went along with it. But I hope we don't do weird stuff like that every time. I'd much prefer learning some folk dances and, I don't know, just movement games that are not so out here. Because I don't really think that my students are going to be interested in something like that. We'll see. I might be able to try with some of the classes, but I can't really guarantee that they're going to, you know, be like, all right, miss, this is cool. They're just probably going to be like, you're weird. You're very weird. And they're probably right. But somebody has to be the weirdo in the room so none of the other kids feel like it's them. So, anyways, I am going to try to get some rest so that I can wake up early. I'm going to set my coffee machine for 5 a.m. It's been going off at 5:30. Not my alarm, but my coffee maker. My coffee maker has been going off at 5:30, but 5 o'clock tomorrow seems like a better time. And I'm going to leave super early. Super duper early. As you can probably imagine, I was late. So I pretty much almost missed my recorder lesson. I'm very lucky that the instructor is so nice because she let me squeeze in before class started and it went fine. There were moments that I was very nervous and my fingers just didn't do what they needed to do, but it's typical. When you think about it, it happens to students all the time, and it's a human thing. My voice is my first instrument, so anything that I do that is not voice is very secondary for me. It's my chances of making a mistake go up, and I just need to be okay with that. And I need to make sure that the students know that it's okay when they make mistakes. So if it's okay when I do it and I brush it off and I just correct it and keep going, they'll know that it's okay. I do, however, need to reevaluate my time management skills, because if I'm waking up earlier and I'm still running late, that's an issue. So I might just be leaving an hour early every day now, just because that's the only way I'm going to be able to do this. I just need to pick myself up and brush myself off and move on to the next thing, which thank goodness is lunch. So that's why I came back to my car to grab my lunch and get ready for the next part of the day. Thank goodness it's Friday. It's Friday, and yes, there will be homework. So, but that's all right, and I'll have all weekend to do it, and I'll have all weekend to practice for the recorder consort, because I was having lots of trouble with that today as well. But it is a lot to think about, a lot of things that I'm taking in right now. So much information in such a small amount of time. So with that, I will try to make it through the rest of the day. I think I'll survive as long as movement is not weird again. Well, that's it. Friday is done. I am so glad that it's the weekend. I am ready for a little bit of a break, but there is still one more week left, and I just can't wait to learn even more. I don't even know what else you could fit in the time. We've done so much in such a small amount of time that I can't even, like I said, I can't even imagine what we're going to be doing next. But I feel like I've been making some really great friends and contacts that, will be with me as I take this new journey of incorporating this new teaching style into my classroom. So it will be a challenge to try to fit everything that I'm wanting to do now in with all of my lesson planning that I already have. But that's what makes it interesting, changing it up and trying something new and seeing if it works with your situation and with the students that you have. So I can't wait till next year, but I can, because I could use some summertime. So I am going to have a weekend, and I did get homework, and I will do it maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday, I don't know. Definitely before Monday. And I have a personal goal of getting to the workshop extra early next week. Purposefully leaving early enough to make it on time. More than on time. I'm talking like I'm waiting around for like 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, we'll see. But right now it's beautiful outside, even though it's still a little bit hot. And Killian looks like he wants to play or go for some sort of walk in this heat. And I will humor him because I love him so much. Until next week, thank you for watching, and happy weekend to you as well.